Hey, you guys, I wanted to come on here and discuss with you something interesting I came across on social media. It was a short clip of a video that I wanted to share with you. And in this video, I plan on highlighting some reasons why Christianity is a form of psychological warfare used to cripple and destroy Black people from the inside out. But before I really get into this, I want to briefly share yet again more ridiculous rhetoric made by Terry Crews. And let me just say this, I am sick and tired of Terry Crews. I'm not sure what it is that emboldens these celebrities to come out and speak on racial issues, especially as they pertain to the Black community. But time and time again, we keep seeing more of the same. Either the celebrity doesn't have a clue what he or she is talking about, or they miss the mark completely. And I feel like Terry Crews has done that in every predicament he's involved in. In this tweet made by Terry Crews, he says, "If you are a child of God, you are my brother and sister. I have family of every race, creed, and ideology. We must ensure hashtag Black Lives Matter doesn't morph into hashtag Black Lives Better." I'm about to say obviously isn't applicable in every single situation, but I feel like it happens at such high rates. Anytime someone tries to use religion or spirituality to justify their reasoning behind why their belief is correct, or they try to push a certain agenda or narrative, understand that this is symptomatic of vindictiveness. When you try to apply logic and politics into a completely different area outside of the boundaries of that social realm, it almost always sounds illogical. And that's why with Terry Crews' statement and this clip that I'm about to show you guys, you'll see how it sounds irrational and nonsensical. So I want you to look at this clip real quick and then I'll show you guys what I mean.
Here we go. You ready to go? Ready, set. I gotta say it. I gotta know I'm ready. No, go! Now write this down. As Christians, we can never stand with the Black Lives Matter movement. As Christians. Now maybe you're not a Christian.
That's right. Amen. Make it plain.
Maybe you're not a Christian. But as a Christian, you can never stand with the Black Lives Matter movement. Never. 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 I'll say what I said last week. I don't want to hear from you.
I want to introduce you all to this amazing new sponsor, Ash Kickin. They are a Black-owned health and beauty business that specializes in a multitude of potent and formidable products that will help enrich your skincare regimen. They take their time handcrafting some of the products so you know it's authentic and made with love and care. My personal favorites are the body butter and the African black soap. These both help to keep my skin clear and free of acne, and the best part is their health and beauty products are all natural. They also have hair care products unique and specific to our hair texture. Definitely make sure you guys check that out. The best part is every time I order from them, their shipping is fast and reliable, so make sure you guys check out Ash Kickin at www.ashkickin.com. Follow them on Instagram at ash.kickin. Like their page on Facebook. Make sure to follow them on Twitter at officialashkick, and use my code ChrisMoore1 at checkout to get a discount on your skincare and health products. ashkickin.com. A side note, but I'm not sure why it is that these pastors have such erratic behavior before their congregation. To me, it seems like they get some kind of gratification off of acting foolish and buffoonish. But you guys saw and watched that clip, and you noticed how the pastor was talking about how Christians cannot stand with the Black Lives Matter movement. And it was extremely disappointing to hear the church members say amen or agree to this. And the only thing that came to my mind is that this religion is not normal. It is extremely detrimental to a Black person's mentality. What in your right mind will possess you to preach to your members, who are most likely Black, that they cannot stand with a movement that has the potential to make their voices heard? Why would your members agree to this as if they were mindless slaves under the direction of automation? Then he further reinforces this notion once more, this time while increasing the volume in his voice, is it off with, "I don't want to hear from you." Do you guys not see how deadly this type of atmosphere is? So he says Black Lives Matter from a Christian's perspective will not receive support from them. Keep in mind, the objective of Black Lives Matter is to help Black people with those systemic issues we face, because we understand that our people are consistently disenfranchised. And even when you think about situations that immediately come to mind, like police brutality, Black Lives Matter is fighting for and advocating for the lives of Black people who were savagely murdered by an oppressive race of people. It's actually one of the reasons why I left the church years ago, because of this type of closed minded talking points, where the pastor is supposed to, I guess, act as a voice for a higher spiritual being and speak the word of this being. But of course, with Christianity, you're never supposed to ask questions. We can incorporate politics into religion, but we can't ask why. And what does politics have to do with religion? And the thing about it is that normally there's a separation between these very different social spaces, and it's because they are all highly controversial. And I don't know if you guys remember, but last year when Botham Jean's murder occurred, Judge Tammy Kemp, the Black woman residing over that case, gave the defendant who murdered Botham Jean a Bible, which actually caused a complaint to be filed against her because it overstepped judicial boundaries. And honestly, if I were in this man's church, I would have got up and walked out. You can't tell me that I can't support a cause that helps to see and recognize the plight of my people, but leave it to this man and others like him to lead you astray, and you'll end up at some point attacking your own people. Again, I will say this is not a natural religion. If a religion is telling you to ignore the plight of your people, how is that normal? Why were the church members in that video completely gone out of their mind? They all agreed to what he was saying like a bunch of mindless slaves. Now, I want to turn your attention to another form of hypocrisy, and this is regardless of which type of religion that a person adheres to. While I understand the prospect of giving tithes for church due to the church needing to sustain itself, they may give money to those in need or some other kind of community effort. There are those that I feel greed and gluttony has consumed some of those, namely the pastors who dwell in prosperity theology, the T.D. Jakes, the Joel Osteens, the Creflo Dollar who owns a jet. All of these earthly material objects that they are in possession of speaks to their character. This is my opinion, but I don't think God has such an obsession with material items in the way that humans do. But again, that is my opinion. We have to really use discernment in cases like this. People who are powerful enough to have influence or enact change will utilize this mechanism to their advantage by telling their followers which ideologies to believe in or what they should follow. And in the case of the video I showed you guys, you see how the pastor shouted out a harmful statement, but the church congregation went along with it in agreement. And you guys, this type of psychological manipulation is extremely dangerous. The fact that he is a Black man himself is also troubling. Harriet Tubman had actually spoken out about people like this in our community as well as others before and after her, and our ancestors warned us that these individuals like this in our community we have to be especially careful of. All skin folk are not kinfolk. And with this type of rhetoric this man was spewing, that should have been enough to make everybody get up and walk out. And overall, it just seems weird to me that a religion that claims to be so holy, divine, sacred, and quintessential has numerous hypocrisies and evil within itself. I remembered reading an article not too long ago, and it was talking about how more of the Black youth were leaving the church for spirituality, and that does give me a sliver of hope because the youth are able to research information and ask questions when something doesn't make sense. And I think it's something that a part of the generation before us has failed to do, which is to ask questions if something doesn't sound right. Those are just my thoughts on this whole religion thing, and this video isn't intended to proselytize or tell you guys what you should or should not believe in. I'm just saying to use proper judgment. Don't let your mind become so consumed and indulge in any sermon that you are devoid of rationality. Now, let me know your thoughts on crazy old man Terry Crews, and also, what are your thoughts on the pastor telling his members that they can't support Black Lives Matter? Do you think that the line between politics and religion needs to be strengthened? Weigh in below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share the video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.